Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Zenith F1 Esports live here from Russia for round 16 already. And is this the round that Matt 2 seals the championship? He's so close, he can touch it. He's got one hand on the trophy, and tonight the Red Bull driver, the Dutch driver, can surely all but seal the title with victory or even a podium tonight. It's an uphill task for everybody else. However, Matt 2 looks like he's got the title in his grasp. As you can see, 18 drivers out there, 2 to come. Crazy Power to join a bit later on as he does the update, and Dan Murphy as well will be joining, but they are 18, soon to be 20, are some of the finest esport drivers out there with a great mix as ever, as you can see. And some debutants as well, which I'll get to very shortly. GFO Fighter is one of them, in fact. Here he is in the Alfa Romeo, the Greek driver out there at the moment. We've also got Bilton Matt also making his debut in the AlphaTauri. Teammate to Lucas. We'll go on board with him shortly. It's TG, the one of the reserves tonight, along with Lennon, and along with Andy. Of course, Andy and Lennon, two very experienced drivers who you may recognise from, of course, the old IRC days. And, of course, we have Slim, Jacob, Hilzerat, Fighter, BP, Drakatos, we've already a win to his name. He hasn't been in the league back for long. You've got Emerson Hilton, of course, capable of challenging at the top as well. Frisky Biscuit trying to build in his 5 points so far this season. Impressive 5 points. Oside Nova will be another contender as well at the front. Lucas, can he break his duct of 6+ retirements? And Nova is out. What's happened there? Has he even left the pits? I don't know what's happened there, but Nova started to choose in the back or what? I am not too sure, but that's Nova out. And that's one of the fastest guys out there, starting at the back of the grid. It's a bit of a shock. Shimi Garcia, another legend of esports and a legend of IRC, of course. He and Andy racing together all those years ago, back when Andy was winning the championship for the first time in the IRC. Now, of course, Zenith F1 Esports. So 17 runners, I'll say Crazy Power and Dan Murphy will be joining to make the full grid. Oside Nova, one of the favourites for this one already, is out. So let's go on board with the Greek driver Fighter. Bear with me, just going to get my bearings, still setting up. Also got my little boy down here with me watching as well, making the sound effects if you can hear him in the background. His name is Lucas as well, so he's going to get very confused when I'm calling out Lucas' name, because it's not you. So, on board with Fighter. Let's take a wrap around this Russian Sochi track then, right on the east coast of Sochi, the east coast of Russia, right by the beach, of course, the old Olympic Park, and Fighter just finishing the first of the DRS zones, or second, whichever way you look at it, into this tricky little technical part of the track. It's so easy to wash the car away, and the understeer on the curbs there is Fighter. Looks beautifully balanced actually, coming and make his way around the final 2 corners of the lap. Turn 17 and 18, that's 17. Little bit of overzealous there on the throttle. Now over the start finish straight, a very, very early start finish straight, 1:31.8. Not a bad time to start your career in. Let's go on board with Drakatas, his Alfa Romeo teammate. And that sounds awful on the limiter, and he looks really on the bubble. Already won a race to his name this season as he's entering turns, it looks like turns 9 and 10. In fact, no he's not, sorry, that's turn 5 and 6. Into 6 he comes now. Into turn 7, his car sounds like it's bouncing off the limiter. I'm pretty sure it's just a little glitch there more than anything else. So I'll get to your comments in just shortly. As you can see, Emerson Hilton out there. You've also got Coandy out there and Bilton Matt out there as well. We'll go to them shortly. Frisky also out on the track as the cars start to make their way. As It's TG has gone fast. As It's TG made its first appearance of the season. Of course, the reserve driver, who, if you've been watching before, would know that Monaco is usually his speciality. However, he scored points last time out in Singapore brilliantly as well. So his first points of the season, his first race appearance of the season. Can he build on that? It'll be great to see. Here comes Drakatas. What sort of run is this for the Greek driver? It's start finishing straight, and it's straight to the top of the timings. 1:30.3, 1.4 ahead of It's TG. At the moment, 3 Greek drivers to set times. So it's a great 1, 2, 3. Let's go on board with Emerson Hilton in the Mercedes. Partner to BP tonight, filling in for Flying Soz. Let's get to your comments and see who's saying what out there. Anyone got a weather report? That'll be very handy. Looks beautifully in sun at the moment. Oside Nova says he wants to start from the back. Well, he's up for the challenge, and there he is. He will be at the back. Well, 18th anyway, I presume. Crazy Power and Dan Murphy will take the back 2 slots of the grid. Plenty of place to overtake around here, of course, to start, finish straight. A big one, big DRS zone, and of course the second DRS zone, which we've just seen Emerson Hilton fly through now. As he completes his lap round to turn 17 and 18, he comes. And then the start-finish line is straight away as you round turn 18, as there he goes. And the start-finish line is just there. And into second place by 8 thousandths of a second goes Emerson Hilton. Michael Preston says, so good to hear you back, mate. It's good to be back. Lennon says, guess who's back? Well, Lennon's back. It's great to see him back as well. Lennon, of course, last season in IRC Elite had a big chance of winning this race. On board is Slim, trying to turn his championship around. We'll get to the standings very shortly, but Slim has had a good second half to the end, no doubt about it. Of course, it started dreadfully with constant disconnection issues. Crosses the line, puts himself third, half a second away from Drakatas, so it's a bit of work to do for the young Haas driver there, another former IRC Elite League champion of last season, of course. On board with BP, the Dutch driver. Down in the bottom half of the table as well at the moment, just waiting for some more times to come through. It's so easy to invalidate your times around here as well. You've got to be pretty inch perfect on this track. Too much curb equals a penalty, which in qualifying, of course, is very costly. BP does a purple first sector as he heads down into turn 8. This is another little tricky part of the track now, down to turn 9 before he hits the second DRS straight. BP's car looking very planted to the track there. Now, over the curb to turn 10 and down DRS. This is actually classed as a turn. It's a bit of a turn. They class it as one. That's turn 11. And then they class this as a turn as well. Into turn 12. Before then straight on the gas. On the brakes, sorry, on the power. You go on the power, you're going straight at the wall. Gear 3. So easy to lose the back end. It's a very technical track. It's more technical than what it looks actually. And BP's car looking very rooted to the ground at the moment. Nice downforce. Nice balance. Just behind his teammate Emerson Hilton, who I think is coming into the pits. So rounds turn 17 and now 18. Nice bit of curve. Really attacking the curves. BP's got the confidence and goes into 4th place. Good luck there for the Dutch driver. With the confidence to attack those curves. And he goes there in 5th place. Time's coming in thick and fast. It's CG down to 6th place. Now we're up Bill to Matt. Bill Matt there in 8th place. Looks like he has done his first flying lap. Frisky in 9th. Pretty sure there's more time left in him as well. And the runner, one of he's fueled up for a few laps. So what about Jacob? Jacob back after a bit of a hiatus, as we all are, I suppose. Coming in to turn 9. A man who on his day is super quick. One of the quickest, without doubt. One lap specialist out there. Just his race pace sometimes lets him down. He loves a very understeery car. Loves to rear loose. Loves to correct the car in his way around. Loves that slippery, low downforce setups, which pays well for him in qualifying. So many pole positions, especially last season. However, he struggled to convert them into wins this season. Still, however, in the top 10 of the championship, and still has an outside shot of those medals for the top 3. 2nd and 3rd, still very much on for this man. A good final 5 races for Jacob. Really, well, I wouldn't write him out. Never do. Oh, and there we go. A great example there of how he loves the rear end step out and goes fastest. And look at the top 4. Hilsrap's joined the party as well. Jacob fastest, 10 hundredths of a second ahead of Drakatos, who is 8 thousandths ahead of Hilsrap, who is 1 thousandth ahead of Emerson Hilton. Oh boy, we are back with a bang already. Great to see. Let's go on board with Lennon. In the runner. Great to see Lennon back, by the way, filling in for Jonathan Cox tonight. So what a return. This is exactly what we want to see. Lennon going for the last 2 corners now. 17, now into 18. Again, re-attacking the curbs. Into 8th place he goes. Just 0.6 of a second away. Matt 2 there in 7th place. A runaway championship leader. Over half a second adrift. And we have got a really interesting looking qualified. Lucas has just gone out there, so we're going to lose as Frisky Biscuit improves his time to just 0.2 of a second within Matt. However, he's invalidated this time. Matt's back in the pit, so we've got Lucas, Jamie 1 and Granty Boy out there. Of course, Granty Boy 3rd in the championship. A bit of a traffic jam here as the Williams and Jacob trying to get himself through. It looks like that is Lennon and... is it Frisky? No, that was Lennon and Granty Boy getting a little bit caught up there. So Jamie 1 start. Now, Jamie 1's a man who's getting better and better. He's starting to find his rhythm again after a terrible start to the championship. Jamie 1 now starting to pick up the points and now starting to mount a challenge on the top 10 places in the championship. He's just outside, well, wait, he's 13th, 46 points. Drakatas, the man who currently is second in this session, is 10th with 57, so Jamie not too far away now. Of course, Matt 2 leads the championship with 202 points ahead of You're in second, 153, of course, You're not in for the rest of the season, sadly. So Granty Boy has a chance of taking that silver medal in second, and of course Nick Mania, Hills, Nick Mania tonight, sadly. So big opportunity for Hills Rap, Dan Murphy, Crazy Power, and Jacob, and Drakatas for that matter, to try and mount a challenge on the top 3, which would be great to see. I think second and third, and those 2 final medal places are all to play for, especially with You're out. Let's see what happens. Drakatas has had a spectacular entry return back, because formerly GFO Leclerc, who won a couple of races last year. Great to see Shumi Garcia there, 11th place, by the way. He's just popped himself in the forward. That could see him through to Q2. So who are we set to lose? We're set to lose Lucas. We're set to lose Granty Boy, because Jamie's jumped up to... Jamie's out. Oh my god, have I missed him Bennett? While I was gnashing away looking at my phone at the championship standings, I think Jamie 1, who I was just saying how much he's improved and having a great second half to the season, and I think he's put it in the wall. He has, in fact. I can see his yellow dot. There it is in sector 3. What a bizarre place to lose it as well on the exit of turn 16. And Jamie 1 has joined his Racing Point teammate out of Q1, which means we're only going to lose 1 more car. Crazy Power and Dan Murphy will start the back when they join. They're going to be joined by the 2 Pink Panthers of Jamie and Osai Nova. Wow, that is a mighty back of the grid. Worthy of the front of the grid. So Granty Boy coming down into turn 13 on the back of the second DRS zone, sliding the car out. Granty Boy, another one who loves that car to be a little bit more pointy. Jacob right behind him as well. So look at the top 4 separated by 2 thousandths of a second. We get then to Slim, then to BP, who's done 3 laps no softs and did a good job as well, as Granty Boy puts himself into 5th place. Good job there by Granty Boy. So both Hasses now 5th and 6th. As Williams, if it's TG, sorry, it's TG, it's behind now, trying to pick up a toe on Granty Boy, and timed it just right as he starts his flying lap now. He's in 11th place, did a great job. As it stands, Matt will be through, and Frisky Biscuit will just be losing out. We're going to lose 1 more driver. We've lost both racing points. Lucas has tucked himself there on the medium tyres, however, in 14th place. Matt 15th, his teammate. Lucas trying to snap a run of 7 retirements in a row as it's TG just down in his second. In fact, he's invalidated. So that's it from him. What about GFO Fighter down there in 13th place? Bit of a gap to Frisky. 4 minutes to go. Can Frisky bump Matt out on his debut? Because Matt, of course, as you all know, and multiple IRC winner. First time racing in this level though. I know he's trying no traction control as a Fighter is 2 steps up, so this improvement would see him possibly jump into 11th place ahead of his TG and Shumi Garcia. But Matt not using traction control, which is a new venture for him. So he's still getting used to it. And his TG is out! Oh, what a shame! His TG's in the wall! And he is out! And his time drops him to 15th place, and that will see Matt through. And if Frisky Biscuit can improve, as Fighter improves to 11th, he will get through. 2 cars to bin it in this session, and Russia's not a big race of attrition usually. A lot of runoffs, a lot of wide areas, and relatively good traction. Although if you get offline, the traction starts to get tricky. So I just pull my son out behind the cupboard. Come on. Come on, come watch Lucas. Lucas. So Frisky on board, Frisky on his outlap. So it's TG. What a shame, because of course if he gets through to Q2, he's done. He's out. So he won't get a chance to compete in Q2. Can Frisky make the most of this? Can he knock him out? Lucas will be safe. Matt's safe. Matt pits. He'll be happy. He knows he's into Q2. He gets a second chance at the cherry. Just over 2 minutes to go. Round turn 18. Start his final lap. There's a start finish straight. And you're straight into your lap now. DRS will wide open. One of the few DRS zones to go around a kink. In fact, both DRS zones are not down a straight. We've got the big kink at turn 1, because we've got the big kink at turn 12 on the second DRS zone. Andy's done, happy with 10th, right behind Lennon. Shumi Garcia is also going to be a happy man. He's heading to Q2 as well as it stands. But Frisky is the man under pressure. Sector 1 time about to come up now. He's round turn 4, heading into turn 5, and he is up, but it won't be enough as it stands. Round turn 5. Let's go on board with the Renault driver, the Welsh driver. Down to turn 6, down into 4th gear. A little bit late on the acceleration there. We're still correcting the car. Turn 7, turn 8. Relatively flat out now, down to turn 10. Sorry, I've missed turn 9, but now into turn 10. Now the DRS zone. He wants to be hugging that inside a bit more. Wants to be, there he is. Stick the front right on that blue marker. Now wait for your braking point. There it is, 100-meter board straight down. That looked better from Frisky. Easy to lose the car here with understeer. Good control from the Welsh driver. Down into the final part of the lap. So easy again to find the front, just washes away on these curves, but Frisky Biscuit's got some good bit of downforce here. Now into turn 17. Good, nice wide entry. Hits the apex, good the acceleration. Another wide entry to turn 18, the final corner. Get on the gas as quick as he can. And he improves, but it's not enough. It's not enough for the Welshman. It's a good improvement as well. But unfortunately for Frisky Biscuit, he's going to be denied. And look how close he was to Matt. He's 0.02 of a second behind Matt. Literally right on Matt's tail, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going again. Matt will be nervously watching. If Frisky makes any more of an improvement, he will jump Matt. Although Matt will be through anyway. How unlucky. And he's invalidated, and that's it with 10 seconds to go. The Welshman is just... Oh, and he's a 10th up. What a shame. Oh, what a shame. He's nailed this first sector. He's out. What a shame. He is, what, 0.03 of a second off Bilton Matt's time and getting himself out of Q1. But it's not to be. However, he'd be quite encouraged that he's going to be right on the pace of Matt. Not too far behind Lucas either. Lucas, uncharacteristically, right down the bottom of that midfield. Good run for Shumi Garcia. Great run for Andy and Lennon as well. But look, sorry, Matt, I missed the action at the front. Hilserath in the McLaren has put himself to the top of the timesheet. 0.2 of a second quicker than Matt 2, the runaway championship leader. And I'll tell you what, Hilserath is definitely my man and my tip to break the top 3 by the end of the season. He has been, if he had started the season from the very start, I can't help but think Hilserath could have been a championship contender. It's been a great return from the Greek driver, who tops Q1. That is it. So it's Hilserath from Matt 2, from Jacob, from Drakatos, from Emerson Hilton, then Slim, who also improved his time to get right within that top gag of the cars there. Bit of a gap into Granty Boy. BP, good session for him in 8th place. And Lennon, Andy, I tell you what, this Q2 is going to be fascinating. It's TG is through. However, he will not take part because he has crashed a car and ripped off a wheel. So Shumi Garcia, great return for Shumi Garcia. That's great to see. This top 10 is going to be, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be a proper slog. Of course, what tyres are they going to choose? Lucas did his best time on the medium tyres. So Hilserath tops it. Greece from the Netherlands, from Britain, from Greece, from the UK, Dutch of BP, of course. And great to see the mixed nationalities in there. Portugal, of course, Shumi Garcia. Wales. Well, it's great to see different flags on there. So Q1, Hills are at fastest, 29.8, broke into the 29s as well. Now, of course, whatever, as you all know by now, whatever tyres they start and do their best laps on Q2 on, in the top 10 will start on that race tyre. And this is not one for tyre wear. Not one for tyre wear. So this is going to be interesting. We could see a fair share of the top 10 going to the medium tyres, especially the top 6. Who's going to gamble on the softs? Overcast. Still sunny though. That looks pretty dry to me. Right, folks. I'll be back in just a second as I try and get my my little one down again to sleep. I'll be right back, folks. Well, that was unsuccessful. So we are back. So Q2, and as you can see, a host of drivers already on the medium tyres. So is that them setting them lap medium tyres now and then going to the softs towards the end? And I'm going to gamble on the softs early. Map 2 has got softs fitted. That's going to be interesting. So, this has changed since I was last on. So, comments in. I'm going to read the comments very shortly. Just going to try and get this all sorted. So, 14 drivers. ITG, who did get through to Q2, will not take part after he put it in the wall. He'll be kicking himself. Real chance there for ITG, who looked like he had some decent pace as well. So, Shumi Garcia. This is going to be a tough one to pick. I can see Lucas out there on soft tyres. I can see we've got Shumi Garcia, Matt 2 out there on soft tyres. Are they going to try and do a lap on softs and go to mediums later in the race, in the qualifying, when the track is more rubbered in? It's still a bit green out there, as we saw in Q1. And the guys in the mediums are doing a banker lap now and try and then beat their time later on the soft tyres. Let's go on board a Hills wrap. Hills wrap's out on the fly at the moment because he topped Q1 down to turn 2. Of course, a little kink was turn 1, turn 2 into turn 3, and now around the long right left-hander we go, flat out now. Used to be a little lift round there, now it's completely flat out. The downforce of these cars and how much they've improved. Into turn 4, hit the curb. That's a bit blind, especially from cockpit view. That's a blind apex. Hills wrap looks absolutely dialed in. Purple sector 1, of course. The only one who's done a purple sector 1 so far. I apologise for the noises. Lucas is driving his own car. Now a bit of traffic here for the McLaren. Will this affect him? It might even give an advantage in the back straight if he can catch in their toe. Rounds one, set one of the Hasses there. Now into turn 10. Of course, on the medium tyres, Hills and the Williams gets well out the way as well. That was Jacob. Into the DRS zone, so he won't get a toe at all, but he's got a nice bit of clear track. Turn 11. Now into turn 12, and now turn 13. Down in the gears into second gear, in fact, for Hills Ram. Yellow flags out. I think that's for the traffic out there at the moment, but now into sector 3. Quick left right-hander as Matt puts the fastest time on the board of a 32.0 on the soft tyres. Not a bad time there for Matt. Actually improves, I think, on his Q1 time as well. So into turn 17, and now turn 18 comes the Greek driver in the McLaren. Start-finish line is there. It's a 31.2 on medium tyres, and that is straight away beaten by Lucas with a 31.2. That's more like it from Lucas. Straight away beating him. What about GFO Fighter? He's invalidated. What about Mac 2, the championship? He's invalidated. Shumi Garcia is invalidated, and drivers are struggling to set time. Slim's gone third on medium tyres. Jacob starting his flying lap now, so round turn 1 we go into turn 2. Again, traffic out in front of him. It's the Haas coming out the pits of, I think, that is Slim. Getting way out the way, and Jacob is lucky not to invalidate. So easily done in turn 2. However, I think he slowed down enough to get away with it. Of course, penalties is this man's downfall, really. My word. Oh, and he's invalidated. How's he done that? Unless he completely skipped turn 4, I'm not sure, but that's him done. And the drivers here in Q2 are struggling. What about Co-Andy? In fact, BP's on a fly just ahead, so and BP invalidates. That's how easy it is. Just 2 wheels off on the curbs, and the time is wiped. On board with Andy then. He is down in turn 5. Oh, and a car trying to step out the way there. Andy having to fight what look like cold tyres to me. And again, the car not gripping. The tyres are not biting to the tarmac. Andy wrestling that Ferrari. Of course, we're quite used to seeing that in real life as well. Seb Vettel's had many a problem exactly the same as that. So Henry Wall says, Brothers got, of course, Jacob Bradbury got his support. Matt 2, so a lot of people switching to mediums. Lennon's surprised. And of course, Frisky Biscuit says, Rawley balled up my lap. Track limits are a real joke here. Yeah, track limits are going to play a big part. Of course, a new update, as Andy's invalidated, a new update which Codemasters have brought in is that you can now see who has penalties on the hub. So you will be alerted to who has penalty. And that's the fastest first sector for Fighter, who he then invalidates again. And again, it's at turn 8. Turn 8 causing real problems. Jacob's going round again. He's going round turn 3 and into turn 4. The clouds are getting darker and darker. Only 4 times. Emerson Hilton out there on the medium tyres as well. So they are really struggling out there for grip. And now he's completely missed it. That's what he did last lap. What is going on? So Jacob's struggling. What about Emerson Hilton? Fastest first sector. I'll tell you what, Matt might get through in a 32.0. And now Emerson Hilton's done it exactly the same place. They cannot set times. And that's a medium run for Emerson. My word. Struggling for grip out there. The medium tyres are not hooking up. So, it's Lucas from Hilserap, from Slim, from Matt, and with 8 minutes to go, this is a bit unprecedented. Granty Boy, let's see what he can do then. On board, 3rd in the championship, Granty Boy. What an opportunity for this man to take 2nd away from sadly you're not with us for the rest of the season. That's how you do it. Granty Boy right on the edge there, but not invalidated. It's literally a sigh of relief now for these drivers if they can get through without invalidating the time. Now down to the DRS zone. That's how you do it. Hugging the inside line. Hugging the blue runoff. Not sparing an inch is Granty Boy. Tucks now into the inside, down into turn 13. Big on the brakes. He's also down the 2nd gear, up to 3rd. Stays in fact, he goes to the 4th and 5th very quickly. Cuts the traction out, of course. Better exit. The shorter shift gears, the better traction you get out the corners. You do sacrifice a bit of speed. However, on off-camber corners like that, it can be beneficial. Turn 17 now for Granty Boy. Now into turn 18. This looks pretty solid for Granty Boy. Where will this put him? On the medium tyres and goes 3rd. Goes into 3rd place. Purple first, 3rd sector. So just the middle sector he lost out. But Granty Boy will be, I just think, be happy. He's put a time on the board. Jacob Bradbury going again and invalidated again. He's struggling. I can see the 2 AlphaTauris line astern. Let's go on board with Matt there and say Matt and Lucas, who are both on their outlaps. Oh, we've got a bit of Ferrari tactics going here. Trying to catch a toe is Matt down the start finishing straight. Great one for the cameras there. And of course, they are 1st and 5th as it stands. The track getting busy now. We've got Jacobson out there. We've got BP out there. Drakatas out there. Matt 2, championship leader, of course, out there as well as Lennon and Andy. Here we go, the AlphaTauris now. Matt is going to pick up a mighty slingshot. Yellow flags are for traffic. On board with Matt. And in fact, has he just... There he is. So there's Lucas ahead of him. He would have picked up a nice toe. Very gentle there on the acceleration. In fact, he gained on Lucas. Lucas made a bit of a mistake into turn 2. Turn 3 they go. Great shot. Both AlphaTauris. There's Lucas. There's Matt. 5 3/4 minutes to go. here. And is that Jacob in the background still going round? I tell you what, Jacob will not want to start on full lap old soft tyres. It is Jacob who looks like he's just invalidated again. As Matt 2 goes fastest with a 130.1. Of course, Hillsrap did a 129 in Q1, but that from Matt 2 relieves the pressure for him, and he's a long way out in front. As one of the Haas is getting there way off the gas down the back straight in turn 12. In fact, the two Alpha Towers are about to approach that, and are about to approach, I think, Emerson Hilton, the Mercedes, who is on an outlap, and a purple middle sector for Matt. So he's improving. Oh, but he's run it a little too deep. So easily done as the traffic gets out the way nicely. Matt has kept pace with his teammate for sure. BP into second. Great run there from the Dutch driver. As Matt pits. The lap looked decent from Matt. 4 minutes to go. The Williams and Jacob right behind him, but Matt has pitted. Does Lucas improve? The answer is no. In fact, he did. He did improve. So he's on the soft tyres. What about Granty Boy in the mediums? He's still in. So, as who was that jumping up the leaderboard? That was Slim into... It wasn't. It was Andy. Andy into 8th. What about Emerson Hilton? Just starting his lap now. Who's further on? Leonard's further along. So let's pick up the Renault driver. Can he get... What a chance for him to get into Q3. And the likes of Shumi Garcia. And the likes of Co-Andy, who can really cash in on drivers struggling to get a lap in. Andy's done his time with mediums as well. He should have time to go in and get round again. So here comes Lennon down the DRS back straight. On the soft tyres, gambling to try and get into Q3. Perfect middle sector as well. Lennon's absolutely on it here. This is a great opportunity. So guys picking soft tyres, interestingly. I thought more would go to the medium tyres. Slim doesn't feel comfortable. He's going to go again. Jacob in the pits. He's done 3 laps, all invalidated. But here comes Lennon. Round turn 17. That looks nicely hooked up. Beautiful on the throttle there. Just balancing, feathering the throttle because of the gas. And goes into 3rd. That's a good time from Lennon. It puts Matt on the brink. Slim's on the brink, would you believe it? Jacob going out now. He's got to nail this. Here's GFO fighter. Drakatos could be a major shock. Fighter's got a bit of traffic. He's in the back straight now. Ferrari ahead of him. I think that's Shumi Garcia, who gets one out the way, thankfully. For the Greek driver, yellow flags. That's for the traffic getting out the way as the track is getting busy out there. We're just under 3 minutes to go. It's a Dutch 1-2. It's Matt 2 from BP as it stands. Emerson Hilton goes 6th on mediums. Well, that could be important. Matt 2 is done for the session. So Emerson Hilton and Granty Boy have got a good shot here of starting medium tyres as Fighter goes into 10th. On softs, that's not going to be enough as it stands. Shumi Garcia starts his fight. It's gone board with the Portuguese driver then. Car number 30. Round turn 1. Flat out. Pedal to the metal, of course. Hillsrap's gone back out on soft tyres. He had done his time on the mediums. So he's not feeling comfortable. He wants to start on the softs. We've got a great mix. Of course, Slim's best time on the medium tyres as well. Right, into turn 4 goes Shumi Garcia as Fighter gets out the way. Not invalidated. Another sigh relief. Another tricky corner that can catch you out. This is another one that made drivers invalidated on, and Shumi Garcia has gone round it nicely as well. Jacob and Drakatas are now out of the pits. Andy is going to have to get out very soon, or he's looking like he could be out of Q2. Matt gets up there. Matt heading into Q3 as it stands. What a great debut that would be. Yellow flags for traffic. It's Renault getting out the way. On board with Shumi Garcia, hugging that blue top on the inside. A little bit of a tight entry. Hits the apex beautifully, running out the car inside. 4th gear, stays in 4th gear. So many drivers with different gear selections for some of these corners for maximum traction and speed. Oh, he's invalidated just late on. What a shame. Too much curb. And Shumi Garcia has really compromised. Slimbo goes to 2nd place in the Haas. Shumi Garcia's got, that was a 32.0, which would have put him in 9th. That would have put him through. Oh, what a shame. Has he got fuel to go again? So let's pick up. It's Jacob And now he's on it. Purple middle sector from Jacob. This is more like it on the soft tyres as well. Oh, look, again, he just loves the low downforce. Loves fighting that car. It's for him, against all downforce, it works for him. Against science, it works for him. He should be scrubbing off speed, not gaining speed with a slippery car. And goes into second place by a 7,000th of a second. My word, Jacob is back and his car was slip sliding everywhere. Drakatas coming in to finish his lap. This will count on the medium tyres. 4 seconds to go. He will get over the line in time. It's only 10th. And has he backed out of it? I think he's backed out of it. So he's done. There's a McLaren coming to a stop. That's Hills wrapping 7th on medium tyres, crucially. Fighters invalidated. So what about Matt? 4 tenths up. This could put Matt. This is going to be close, actually. This could get Matt through. This is going to be really touch and go. Because Drakatas is done. And of course, if he can find just another 10th, he could put Granty Boy under serious pressure. Andy's out there as well. Here comes Matt, about to start into the back straight now. Yellow flags are out for the traffic. So it's Granty Boy and Drakatas. Shumi Garcia's got 9th. What a fantastic lap by the Portuguese driver. First time into Q3 this season for Shumi Garcia. That is outstanding. So what can Matt do? What can Andy do? Granty Boy could be out. This would be a shock. Granty Boy could be out of this. BP in 5th place, by the way. Great effort from Dutch driver. Here comes Matt. Round turn 18. Start finish line is there. And he's through. Into 7th place. And Granty Boy's out. And Shumi Garcia could be out. Andy could knock him out. The 2 old rivals. The 2 experienced drivers. Andy goes 6th. And Shumi Garcia has missed out. Wow. And Emerson Hilton, by the skin of his teeth, has got through. Oh, delight for Andy. Oh, the irony of knocking out his old championship rival of the good days gone by. Great lap by Andy, and that track rubbered in towards the end and caught Granty Boy out, caught Drakatas out. 2 drivers who I would have thought would have been contending for pole position have been caught out with the track rubbering up. And my word, Emerson Hilton gets through by the skin of his teeth, but Matt has got through. BP's got through. Lucas has got through. What a fantastic session. Lennon through there in 7th place. My word, we've got a bit of a jumbled up order here. And it's great to see, and this is going to provide us with what should be an absolute cracking race. So Matt, you would think it was Matt 2 v Jacob for pole position, wouldn't you? They're quite comfortably ahead of Slim. So Hills and Emerson will start on the medium tyres. Whew. Take a breather, folks. This is this grid already is a bit of a surprise. So Bill and Matt was saying in chat for a lot of the week that he was expecting to be down the back of the grid, starting at the back, is going to be at least in the top 10. And of course, he just got into Q2 alone, just ahead of Frisky Biscuit. Shumi Garcia, what a brilliant effort from him. He starts 11th. Of course, 11th is probably one of the best positions starting. Free choice of tyres, fresh tyres, and a nice long run into turn 1, into turn 2 technically. Here we go, Q3. Who's got fresh softs available for 2 laps? Who's putting on scrubs to start off with, I wonder? This, from what I've seen so far, could be a shootout between Matt 2, our championship leader, our runaway championship leader, and Jacob. It's great to see Jacob back and fighting at the front. Joshua Stevens says, "Brother for me too. Come on, brother." And Lennon says, "It's literally the best lap, and I'm still nearly 8 tenths down." Yeah, but to be fair, Lennon, Matt 2 and Jacob are two pretty special drivers, especially in qualifying. However, the main thing is he's in the top 10. As I picked my little boy up, Lucas, to sit on my lap, and we're going to watch this Q3 together. So, on board with Slim, who is not the first man out, so it's been Matt 2 is the man leading the pole and gets the TV time. Great to see Luke, a rare appearance for Lucas this season to Q3. Can he stop the rock of 7 DNFs in a row? Because he is on a bad run of form. Probably his worst patch of form I've ever seen him in esports, actually. Great to see him into Q3. Great to see BP back into Q3 as well. Of course. And Lennon. And Matt. And Andy. There's some pretty surprise names. Well, not surprised in respect of they're slow, but compared to some of the drivers out who I thought have been contending for pole, likes of Granty Boy, Dracotos, Oside Nova. They're out, and it's the likes of Matt, Lennon, Andy, BP who have taken an opportunity. So Matt 2, who can literally wrap up the championship tonight, starting his flying lap. However, the battle for second and third is probably between a good 10 drivers. Matt's trophy will be in the post, and whoever gets second and third will be receiving silver and bronze medals. Second and third medals, but where will they be going to? It's a high chance at least one of them are heading to Greece to add to the good old postage costs. So Matt 2, can he get into the 129s? Of course, Hillsrap got into the 129s. Actually, I've done a bit of a disservice to Hillsrap. He got in the 129s in Q1, which wasn't beaten in Q2. What's that, Lucas? Doing some sound effects, yeah. Boom, good boy. So my little boy cheering Matt 2-1 as well. Giving him that extra bit of horsepower power down the back straight. DRS wide open. Of course, in the purple first sector. And a 103.6. That is already a very impressive middle sector. Into sector 3 he goes. Into the last sector. Okay, Matt's car just trying to kick out then. The oversteer kicking in there. Beautiful. Oh, and again, the rear just stepping up. Matt controls it well. Down into turn 17, 18, the final 2 corners before the start finish straight is literally right upon you as you round turn 18. There it is. And it's a 129.7. And that is going to be a tough time to make. What can Slim do? It's a 130.2 from Slim. Half a second back. Jacob starting his flyer now. Lucas goes into third. Time's coming thick and fast. Lennon goes into third place. Matt jumps into fifth. I wonder if that was on a set of scrubbed softs. Emerson Hilton goes into second place, 2 tenths off as well as Hillsrap. Second place. We know he can get into the 20. Well, he has got into the 29s in fact, but well, it's just out. Same with Emerson Hilton, but they're going to have to go to the 29s and then some. What about Jacob? He's got a bit of traffic. BP's invalidated. Andy's starting his flying lap now. So Jacob is the man to watch. The traffic gets out the way. That is Matt 2. I've got a feeling. Wow, Jacob on the very, very edge there. I've got a feeling Jacob could be the only man to really put a challenge on Matt. Unless Hillsrap can... Oh, he's invalidated. Well, of course, he's got to stop doing that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, he can't see you. He can't wave at you. So BP's invalidated. And so let's watch Andy. Andy, who's... I think he's got a great shout at top 5. I tell you what, Lennon will be praying stop the count because he is in P5 and a fantastic chance of starting there as well. He's done a good time of 30.7. It'd be great to see Lennon up there. And of course, as we know, and as you all know as well, who've been watching races for the this season and seasons gone by, Lennon is one of the best starters in esports. And I'll tell you what, if he starts in 5th, it is not inconceivable that he could very well lead this race, ending in lap 1 of it. And of course, if you're with us last season, IRC Elite, Lennon could have won this race last year before he put it in the wall. So Andy coming round now, what's he going to do? Round turn 18, Andy jumps into 6th place, just behind Lennon. I've got a feeling a lot of these guys used a set of scrub tyres. Jacob going round again, and a purple first sector to 32.5, so Jacob's on it. Granty says, I wanted myself out of Q2 only because of that last season. And welcome back. I want myself out of Q2 only because of that last season. If I remember right, did Granty Boy bin it here in Russia from high up? Something happened from last season. I think I know what he's on about. Jacob's an absolute flyer, mind you. And Jacob, this could be the lap to put him right up with Matt 2 at the front. Everybody else in the pits except, in fact, Andy, who's looks like on an in-lap or an out-lap going very slowly. So we're getting ready for the calm before the storm. But can Jacob get the cat amongst the pigeons here? Look at the brake disc glowing up. Jacob absolutely on it. Round turn 18 he goes. There's the start. Finish straight. Goes fastest by 1. Fouls himself a second. Wow. Now the big question is, can he get back to the pits in time? And go again. Oh, of course. Safety car. And of course, yeah, Slim and Granty were screwed over by the safety car last season. I remember. So Granty Boy choosing to have that free range of tyres then to start the race with. Andy is, I think, out of fuel. BP and Lucas are both they're about to start their final runs quite early, so they just want the clear track. On board with the AlphaTauri. BP's capable of a top 5 here. BP's done a mid-low 30s. He can get probably within Slim, Lennon. Lucas could do the same as well. So could Andy. The battle at the front is by no means over, and nor is that battle best of the rest. Can Hillsrup get himself in there? Can Emerson Hilton get himself in there? Can Slim, as we saw last season so many times, pull a rabbit out of the hat and get himself to the front of the grid? The closest of margin. Of course, Matt is pretty far away in the championship. I think we'll be reveling this back with Jacob. It's great to see Jacob back at the front. It's been way overdue. And I really hope he can keep this for the race. However, for that slippery car he's got and how harsh penalties are around here, I just hope that doesn't cost him. So here we go. The final runs begin. 3.5 minutes to go of qualifying 3 here in Sochi, Russia. Round 16 of the Zenith F1 Esports. Lucas starting, the first driver to start his final lap. In fact, BP just ahead of me. So let's ride with the Bredon driver. Dutch, one of a few Dutch drivers in the pack, of course. Lucas, who is Greek, although resides in Norway and studies in Holland. Yep, you heard that one right. A man of the world. BP locking up his front brakes because BP uses no ABS or no traction control. Snatching the brake there. Coming in just to finish. This looks good from BP. BP. This is quite a friendly track for cars with no assists. It's very smooth. Pretty much no elevation at all. So no traction control and ABS is one of the better tracks for it. And BP's showing it right now. DRS open. The AlphaTauri Lucas right behind him. It's a 103.9. So he's about 3/10 off what Matt 2 was doing. Oh, and he's backed out of it. He's backed out of it as he made a mistake on board with Lucas then. So BP's, he can either pit and put a fresh set of softs on. Did he get too deep into turn 14, I wonder? So yeah, BP coming in the pits. He should have enough time to get back out there again. So what can Lucas do? Round turn 18 he goes and goes up to 7th place. Good lap, 130.7 in the end. So Emerson Hilton is a 10th up. Hillsrup's invalidated. So eyes on Emerson Hilton, who is a 10th up, and that could put him right with Matt 2 and Jacob. Yellow flags for traffic. Emerson, can he get himself on the front row? He would have to put it on pole pretty much, because you are not separating Matt 2 or Jacob, who are back out for their final runs. Can BP get back out in time as well? Here comes Emerson Hilton. Can he get himself to the front of the grid? 129, he does! 129.706! And would you believe it? By a 7,000th of a second, he has jumped Jacob, he has jumped Matt 2, and with a minute to go, Emerson Hilton's on provisional pole. Extraordinary. BP will not be going again, he's done. And I'll tell you what, Lucas is improving. We'll try jump with Matt and Jacob. There's Matt. Jacob is on his outlap and getting around as quick as he can. The closest of margins between the top three drivers, and Emerson now. And he's still on it. No, he's not. No, he's not. Timing glitch. No, he's not. All he can do is sit and wait. It will be Jacob first. 30 seconds to go. Everybody out bar BP. Unfortunately for BP, he will not be going and doing another time. Here we go. Can Jacob take pole off Emerson? Can championship leader Matt 2 do the same? Yellow flags. I think one of the AlphaTauris or one of the runners is a bit trouble. Here we go. He's invalidated. Jacob's out of it. He's invalidated, which means all eyes on Matt 2. The Dutch driver, little wiggle there. That didn't look as quick as he has been. Check a flag out. Everybody on the track. Emerson Hilton's on an in-lap. Jacob's invalidated. He's done. All eyes on Matt 2. Hills are up's done. Can Slim improve? Can Lennon improve? Can Matt get himself up the order? All the answers about to be revealed. Emerson pits. It just doesn't look like Matt's best lap. Emerson, of course, done. He's got 2 cars ahead of him. They shouldn't get in the way of that. That's an invalid Jacob, and I think Lucas. And one of the Ferraris, I think Andy's about to finish up as well, but Matt 2 is about to close sector 2 now. What's the deficit? Oh, it's the smallest of margins, but it wouldn't be enough as it stands. It's all on this sector for the Dutch driver. Andy's crossed the line to 5th place for Andy. What a qualifying. What a qualifying for Andy. What about... What can Matt 2 do? Matt is about to cross the line now. In fact, I think he's spun. So can Matt 2 take pole of Emerson Hilton? The answer is yes! By 8,000ths of a second! The championship leader has done it! Wow, what a qualifying! Lennon crosses the line. He improved but invalidated. Here goes Matt. He's invalidated as well. And it is Matt 2 from Emerson Hilton. And unfortunately, Jacob invalidated and blew it. However, this is going to be a fun race to watch. And of course, I think Emerson and Hillsrap will be starting on the medium tyres. What a grid. What a mixing strategy. This could be an absolute cracker. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a second. This race is set to be a corker. Here we go, folks. Round 16 of the Zenith F1 Esports. What a grid. 20 of some of the fastest esport racers out there in what look like beautiful conditions. Run through the championship order in just a second as we wait for the drivers to choose their strategy on the grid. What a qualifying we have just had. Matt 2, championship leader, taking pole position by the smallest of margins from Emerson Hilton, just ahead of Jacob. This, as he has said so many times, qualifying means absolutely nothing. And I've got a funny feeling they're going to be set for exactly the same. There we go then. So 20 drivers, nice full grid. JB1, look at the back. Look at the back of the grid. Look at the front. There's some mighty fast drivers down there as well. Let's go for the championship. So Matt 2, championship leader, 202 points, can pretty much wrap it up tonight if he was to finish well, there or on the podium. Emerson Hilton, 11th in the championship, can break into the top 10, second on the grid. Jacob, who I'm still tipping to break into the top 3 at some point. It's certainly not over for him. Let's get the tyres, by the way. So Emerson isn't a medium. Jacob on the soft. Slim, 12th in the championship, 47 points. There on the soft tyres. Hills are up. 5th in the championship, 105 points. They're in 5th. Andy, great to see him there in 6th place. Hasn't done many races. Does have 22 points to his name. A great chance to add to that tally on the soft tyres. Lucas, who has had a miserable run of form for the Greek driver. 7 DNFs in a row. Can he stop the rot? Can he finally get some points? Lennon, the mighty starter Lennon. 4 points to his name. 6 points to his name. He can add to that. Excuse me. Bilton Matt on his debut starts at his downfall with no traction control, which he's still getting to grips with. He's gonna, and of course, it's a long run to turn 2. He's gonna, hopefully not the case, but he could be having to watch his mirrors in that long run. BP, great to see him in there in 10th place on the soft tyres. Shumi Garcia just missed out on Q3. There, 4 points to his name for the Portuguese driver. 11th place on the mediums. Granty Boy, one of the shocks, knocked out early. 3rd in the championship, 12th place, medium tyres. Drakatas with a win to his name, 10th in the championship, and going the scenic way as well on the mediums. Fighter, GFO Fighter on his debut, choosing the soft tyres. He's going to get aggressive at the start. It's CG, 1 point, and that was last time out in Singapore. 15th on the medium tyres. Frisky Biscuit, 5 points to his name. They're in 16th place, the Welsh driver on the medium tyres. Oside Nova, watch out for him. He's going to be like a raging bull coming through this grid. Jamie Wan, who's had a great second half to the season, crashed it in qualifying. Soft tyres, watch out for him. Crazy Power, who's 7th for the championship, having a great campaign this season in 19th. He joined late. And of course Dan Murphy, also on soft tyres, 6th for the championship. I am looking forward to this one. Penalties, that's a great addition, but we want position changes. We want the front of the grid, and we want the 5 red lights. Round 16 from Russia, from Sochi. Calm before the storm. Here we go. 5 lights are on, and it is go from Sochi. A bit of a pause, and Matt 2 looks like he made a perfect getaway. Emerson takes into 2nd place on the medium tyres, of course. Can they all get through turn 1? We've seen crashes there before. Oh my word, they're so close. But Matt 2 holding on. Slim's jumped to 3rd place. Jacob's going backwards. It's turn 2 they go. Can they all get through? It looks like they are. Frisky taking it easy at the back, but look at Emerson Hilton down the outside of turn 3. Now we'll have the inside for turn 4. Has to tuck in. It's Slim from Jacob, from Lennon. I told you Lennon's a mighty starter. There he is in 5th place. Andy up to 6th. Hillsrap's going backwards to 7th place. Looks like side-by-side action down the field as well. BP maintaining position. Bilton Matt has only dropped 3 places. He's had a good start. Oh, Drakatas has gone backwards. And that's Shumi Garcia trying to move on Oside Nova, who's already up to 14th place. Shumi is 15th. Drakatas, Crazy Power, Jamie, Wan and Frisky. But what a start, and a relatively clean one as Drakatas taking Shumi Garcia. There they are, side by side. Shumi Garcia with the Ferrari with the inside line, but that will turn to the inside for the Greek driver. And Slim's got Emerson Hilton at the front. Side by side, Hilton round the outside. Slim's got a yield, and Hilton gets back through. They're still side by side. Jacob right behind. Down into turn 15 they go. It's the Mercedes of Hilton on the medium tyres, but Slim gets through on the inside. Hilton hasn't got the grip yet. Can Jacob make advantage? Matt 2 is off. Great start for Slim, up 2 places. Can he get onto the back of the Dutch driver? And look at the queue behind Emerson Hilton. Nova up past Matt for 12th. What a lightning start as the scoreboard, leaderboard sorts itself out, but it is Hilton who's gone backwards because there goes Jacob down the inside. The soft tyres give the grip, and who's that? AlphaTauri. It looks like Lucas charging through. Timing screen's a little bit out, but Matt's out. What a shame, and Frisky Biscuit's in, and Matt is in safety car. Is that both Renaults in the pits? Is that Lennon? Is Lennon down the field? No, Lennon is up there. I'm trying to work out the dot. There's one of the dots to the safety car. What a shame for Matt on his debut. Still getting used to no traction control, and unfortunately he is out of the race. And has brought the safety car out. Nice, no, the bunch to pat back up. What a reprieve for Jamie and for Frisky, who Matt has binned it in turn 2 by the look of it. So not good news for Matt, who had really pulled away, but I tell you it's not good news for Emerson. His medium tyres will now call off, and who else was in the medium tyres? Hillsrap's gone backwards as well. The start of the medium tyres has not worked for Emerson Hilton. It has not worked for Hillsrap. They've gone backwards. It's worked for Granty Boy. However, switching on those medium tyres on a restart, on a safety car restart, is a lot tougher than the softs. And Emerson Hilton will be under threat from, I can't believe I'm saying it, from Lennon and from Andy. Great to see. Who's that pitting? Is that Lucas diving in the pits? It is. Of course, tyre wear is nearly non-existent around here. I wonder if he's going hard. In fact, the soft runners, a BP as well coming in. Is that Fighter coming in? What tyres are they going to put on? They're going hard to the end. I wonder if it's hard. There's no damage. Mediums. Could they get mediums to the end? It's not inconceivable, especially with another safety car. But Lucas and BP and Dan Murphy, in fact BP's gone for a set of hards, he will definitely be going to the end, and Dan Murphy onto the mediums. Ooh, BP maybe a bit too conservative. However, it only leaves 5 drivers left on soft tyres, and I wonder if Matt 2 and Slim and Jacob will be thinking, have we made the right choice staying out on the soft tyres here? However, Lucas, BP and Dan Murphy will have to try and get through a ton of traffic, all on similar tyres. Shumi Garcia up there 11th place, was maintained 11th place, great to see on the medium tyres. It's TG, 12th, after a fantastic outing in Singapore. Could be on, for the first time ever in this league, 2 points finishes in a row. So this has just thrown a spanner in the works, this safety car, and of course if they pit now at the front on the soft tyres, they're going to drop to the very back of the grid. So, the big gainer. No penalties yet, good to see. Long may that continue. Sadly, I don't think it will. They're the guys who stopped there. Lucas, Fighter, BP, or Fighter for his debut. Pit stop out the way. Dan Murphy, Jamie, Frisky have all stopped already. Jamie and Frisky catching the back of the pack. They will catch the back. So who are the big gainers? Who are the biggest gainers and losers from all that? Starting at the back here, Dan Murphy up free and has pitted. I do not think they're going to have to stop again. Tyre wear is non-existent around here. Lucas down 7, has pitted. Crazy Power up 6. Crazy Power is a man who, in seasons gone by, is a relatively calm driver. Takes it in his stride. Never one to really push for the overtakes, but this season... Oh, and he spun it! I don't believe it! I nearly jinxed him. That's not a good way to treat those medium tyres. Lucas has just jumped him as well. I wonder if they're going to be... Oh, Crazy Power has lost that place as well. Well, to finish what I was saying about Crazy Power, the young Italian stallion, this season I've seen a different style out of him. Aggressive, but great with it. Controlled aggressiveness. Some great overtakes this season. Isn't scared to get his nose in. Has made many overtakes this season. Many battles through the field. I've been mightily impressed with this young Italian this season. However, he's got to try and repass Lucas. It's TG, 12th, as I was saying, up 3 places. Dragatos up 10th. Watch out for him, by the way. Oside Nova up 9, up 8. What a start. Right behind. I'll tell you what, Hills are up, Granty Boy, Nova, Drakatos. Wow, that is a quad of drivers that could get spicy, and they're going to want to get past Andy and Lennon very quickly, because they are going to have their eyes firmly set on Matt and Slim and Jacob and Emerson at the front of this pile, as it's TG's just past Shumi Garcia. I don't think they're allowed to do that. Shumi trying to get back through. What's happening here then? Why is XTG just past him? Safety car should be in this lap, I would hope. So if you're watching, folks, welcome. live team radio from its TG. Something between him and Shumi Garcia, and he's received a penalty. I don't know what's happened there, but it's TG saying he's received a penalty for illegal overtake on the safety car. Well, that could be rescinded. Please show the tyres. Of course we can show the tyres. So there they are. 5 drivers on softs. Matt 2, Slim, Jacob, Lennon, Andy. And I'll tell you what, they've got to go. They have to get their foot down. Oh, and it's TG now has got a penalty with Shumi Garcia, who also picks up a penalty. Well, it's broke loose on the restart between those two. But Matt, Slim, Jacob, Lennon, Andy have got to go on those softs. They've got to make this count. Here we go, the restart, and Jacob is tucked up right behind the back of Slim. Oh, one of the Ferraris, I think Andy got a very loose on turn 18 there. But Jacob tucked up behind that Haas rear wing. Matt 2's got the perfect restart. He's away and gone. One of the Haas's, Granty Boy, weaving for temperature. Of course, he's in the medium tyres. The mediums do take longer to get the temperature. Can Andy and Lennon try and get past Emerson Hilton as Lucas passes Shumi Garcia? And Crazy oh no, and Shumi's out! Shumi Garcia is out! Down around turn 3. Oh, what a shame. A man who had a fantastic qualifying. 5 seconds for its TG. That's a great penalty feature. 5 seconds and a penalty for Jacob. 3 seconds. I was saying in qualifying, this man's biggest downfall was penalties. He's picked up 3 seconds already, and it's only lap 5. And of course they will know this on their graphics now. They know the black and white flag is there for them as well. It will say 3 seconds to Jacob, and it will mean Jacob's got to push harder to get through. And Slim's right behind the back here. Sorry, I'm getting used to the new graphics. I'm still playing around. So let's get the tyres on, because Leonard as a fighter getting past Crazy Power on the fresher mediums. Crazy Power getting back through. Let's try and pick up that battle. There they are. And there's the Red Bull at Crazy Power. They're still side by side. Fighter, the Greek driver, down the inside. The Italian backs out of it. BP also on the hard tyres, trying to get through. Of course, these guys made a pit stop. Crazy Power didn't. And as you can see, look, BP weaving there, trying to get heat into his hard tyres. Slim right behind the back of Matt 2, the reigning IRC Elite League champion, against the champion-elect Zenith. Slim tucked up right behind. Lucas has passed TG. Into 11th goes there. Well, it's a change of the Greek drivers there, isn't it? Hills are held his own medium tyres, as has Emerson, more importantly. But look at this battle for the lead. Slim on board with the reigning champion. Oh, if only this was a battle for the championship this season, it would have been absolutely fantastic. But Slim seems to have the quicker car at the moment. BP now past Fighter. And Dan Murphy, Fighter unfortunately going backwards. No more penalties except it's TG, and 3 seconds to Jacob. Emerson in this battle. Great, look at the whole field, they're still there. Oh, Nova penalty, 3 seconds, and Fighter still going backwards, side by side with Jamie, who now gets through as well. As he got front wing down, no damage on Fighter's car. Unfortunately, he's just on the back foot. Back at the front, DRS of course open. This is brilliant. Matt, Slim, Jacob, Emerson, Lennon, Andy, Hills are out. Granty Point, Nova, Dragatos, all in the same picture. A bit of a gap then to Lucas, 11th place. One mistake from any of these drivers are going to lose a ton of positions. And of course, these boys at the front of the softs are yet to stop. Matt 2 fastest lap, but here comes the DRS train. Look at them all the way down to 10th. The DRS train. Can Slim get closer to the back of Matt 2? On board, here he is. He's getting closer and closer. Down the inside for the race lead. Into turn 2 they go. On the turn 3, Slim gets in too deep, and Matt 2 back round the outside gets through. Just a little too deep on the brakes there for Slim. Jacob's right behind as well. In fact, Jacob going for the move on the inside and through. Through goes Jacob. Can he make it stick? And on the inside again, Slim around the outside. Then touching wheels, no major damage. Great racing. Dan Murphy penalty. Penalties already flying in thick and fast. But Jacob now into second. And Emerson, of course, on the medium tyres there in 4th place. Leonard. Oh, where goes Jacob? Front wing damage. Oh, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. And I was saying, oh, big front wing damage, and the Williams of his TG just managing to stop in time and avoid hitting the back of his teammate. Virtual safety car with a clear the front wing, and Crazy Pies going backwards. Oh no, I wonder if he's come together. He's got no damage, but I think its TG was avoiding his teammate Jacob rejoin the track, and I wonder if Crazy Pies come a cropper. But I was saying, as ITG's got damage as well, he's going to have to queue behind his Williams teammate in the pits as the virtual safety car is still out. And I was saying in qualifying how Jacob loves a low downforce. There's Matt Pitts! Because the virtual's still out. It's like a free pit stop right now. Slim pits as well. Now the safety car's in. Well, they've gambled. Is that Lennon? Lennon's going for the lead of the race! Lennon on the outside of Emerson Hilton! This is unbelievable! He's never led! He's never led a race! And Lennon leads in Zenith! What a moment! What an Andy's in third place! The two old veterans! First and third! Wow! I never expected this in a million years! And I've got to find the remote before my TV turns off! And I can't find it! Oh, drama. Scenes all round. Where's the remote? Where's my boy hidden it? Oh my god, I can't find the remote. Ah! Don't turn off. Oh, there it is. Oh. Under the couch. Classic. Right, Lennon leads. Lennon leads from Emerson. And that Hills up having a move on Andy. He's gone deep. He's gone deep. Andy gets out the way. And has he made it stick? Hills up around the outside. Oh, you're not going to catch Andy out. Oh, he's an old guard. He's been racing in esports for way too long. Andy saw that coming. Penalties galore. Granty Boy up to 5th. Drakatos in 6th now. Nova 7th. What an 8 laps. What an 8 laps. BP back in the points on hard tyres and hasn't got to stop again, and no penalties. Jamie Watt back in 11th. Whew. Matt and Slim. Matt 2 and Slim. Now 14th, 15th. Emerson's Hilton on the inside of Lennon. Oh, they're banging wheels. Lennon takes the escape route. I hope he can get through. And that is how you recover back on track without getting a penalty. Brilliantly done. Andy's in this mix for the lead. Hillsrap's in it. Granty Boy's in it. Drakatos, Nova are all in it. 7 cars nose to tail for the lead of this race on lap 9. And it's Lennon. It's Lennon who leads them round. He's only got 4 points to his name this season. BP and Jamie, 2 Dutch drivers that go wheel to wheel. You can't take your eyes off this battle. Andy's in there. I tell you what. Oh, penalty Lennon. Andy made a mistake as well. Oh, it would be incredible if Lennon and Andy were to finish on the podium. There are your penalties. 6 seconds for Jacob. It's all gone wrong for him. 6 seconds for Lucas now. 3 for Lennon, 3 for Drakatos, 3 for Nova, 3 for Murphy. There are your stoppers. Lucas is the lead driver who has stopped. And look at Emerson Hilton. I wonder if Lennon's tyres are just starting to drop because those medium tyres are now coming in for Emerson. Incredible. I tell you what, the leaders, 7 seconds separates the top 8 after 10 laps. Jacob penalty. It's a horrible sight now. Look at different manufacturers, by the way. As Emerson Hilton back down the inside Lennon. I think this move could be done. No DRS for Lennon. And Emerson Hilton retakes the lead as one of the Alphas. It's Drakatos looking at a move at Granty Boy. You've got Mercedes, Renault, Ferrari, McLaren, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Racing Point, AlphaTauri. 8 different constructors in the top 8 of the race. Absolute scenes here. I cannot believe this race. And don't forget, Lennon and Andy have got to stop. And now Andy all over the back of Lennon. Trying to take 2nd place, and it looks like Emerson just trying to. He's got to break that DRS. He's got to break it. Hilton leads. Andy trying to find a move. Crazy power penalty. What a race. 10 laps gone. And the top 8 are separated by 7 seconds. And Dan Murphy got a clear track now as well. And BP right behind the back of Dan Murphy on hard tyres. I wonder if he's made the right choice as in come the soft runners. So in come Len Andy, and it was it was great fun seeing him at the front. And I'll tell you what, can they undercut the likes of Emerson Hilton? Hills are up. Granty Boy and Drakatos and Nova. My word. And Lucas, of course, the first man to stop. If we can get those mediums to the end, Lucas leads this race outright. BP there in third with no penalties. Matt 2 penalty, who is tucked up right behind his teammate and just behind Fighter as well. The championship lead, of course, Matt and Slim, who pitted under a virtual safety car, which then came in as they were entering the pits, as Lennon picks up another penalty as well. Jacob fastest lap. There's going to be nothing like the top 10, but now Mac is getting held up as Drakatos and Granty Boy pick up penalties. This could be a day for not picking up penalties, couldn't it? It really could. Matt 2 stuck behind is the last thing Matt needed. And Lennon's only 4 seconds behind Slim, but there is Matt behind his teammate Crazy Pat, and Slim starting to catch up. So Matt does not need to swing up at the front as quickly check back in, because we've got Drakatos right behind Granty, but Granty Boy third in the championship. He can, as it would stand, he would take second ahead of York. 6 seconds for Drakatos, 6 seconds for Lucas, 8 for Crazy Power. Oh, and Drakatos loses the rear, and would that give a chance? Drakatos, who made an awful mistake, and again the rear looks all loose there for Drakatos. Medium tyres. Nova in the racing point, he can't get close enough, and Drakatos does hold on. He's got some straight line speed, I'll tell you that, as Drakatos. 6 seconds for him and for Lucas, nothing for BP, who, I tell you what, if BP can pass Dan Murphy, he's in a fantastic position on the hard tyres. He's definitely going to see it. Crazy Power getting past Fighter, and Matt 2 still stuck there in 12th place, and the gap to Slim's now 1.3, and Jamie's got past BP. And I was just saying that BP needs to get past Dan Murphy if he can. Jamie won, his Dutch counterpart's taking an advantage. Slim penalty. Has BP got damage? No, he hasn't. Dan Murphy 4 seconds off Lucas. It's Lucas, although he's got 6 seconds of penalties, is possibly in the pound seats right now. He hasn't got to stop again. And he's all comfortably ahead of the guys like Matt 2 at the moment. He's got to keep going though. He's got to work that penalty. This could be a stunning result. Although, however, let's not speak too soon as TG picks a penalty. And Matt 2 passes GFO Fighter. Long overdue. Finally, he's through. LR McCrew says hello. Hello to everybody watching. What a cracking race we've got here. Yellow flags. As oh, it's TG, who had a fantastic qualifying. Of course, scored points. Virtual safety car. Now, will they pit? Will they pit at the front? Well, they've all missed the pits. They're not going to take a dive in the pits. No. For the front runners, it was just too late. Possible opportunity, although saying that, the softs would go to, well, no, they wouldn't really go there. 15 laps would be too much for the soft tyres. It would have to be the hard to pitted now. And of course, these guys in the mediums will want to stretch to the hard tyres. To the soft tyres, sorry. Shumi Garcia saying in the chat that the safety car sort of screwed him over. As LR McCrew says, go on Slimbo. Well, Slim was fighting for the lead in the early stages. However, him and Matt 2 gambled on an early pit stop, which hasn't paid off for him so far, because Slim is still 13th. They've got to be kicking themselves. Matt 2 and Slim have got to be kicking themselves. They should have held on. Green flag! There is a long way to go. We're in half distance, pretty much, but we are a lot to be decided. There a penalty situation. Jacob now 9 seconds of penalty. He needs another safety car, really. Andy and Lennon will be biding their time. How's this one going to play out as Matt 2 has got past Crazy Power? The championship leader is on the move. He's 5 seconds behind BP, but I'm pretty sure look at him, he is on it. And there is Slim. So Slim will be desperate now. And Slim, who was fighting Matt 2 for the lead in the early stages, now has to pass Fighter and Crazy Power. Jamie 1 still right behind Dan Murphy, and BP's just dropped back slightly. As you can see, Lucas, those 6 seconds for Lucas could be absolutely costing. Now it's Hilzerat who has caught the back of Emerson Hilton. All of a sudden, Hilzerat's come to life, and these two do not have penalties. As Drakatos on the inside of Granty Boy. Can he make it stick? Nova penalty. On the inside goes the Greek driver and through to 3rd place. However, he has got 6 seconds. So Granty Boy down to 4th. What a race. And of course, when these guys pit, when Emerson, Hilzerat, Drakatos, Granty Boy, Nova pit, where will they feed out? The field spread is so small, I'm pretty sure they're going to feed out towards the back of the field. It could be Lucas and Dan Murphy and Jamie 1 with the advantage, and Jamie doesn't have a penalty. BP just picked up his first. Of course, Matt 2 will have something to say about that. Slim is still stuck behind Fighter. Still can't get through. There he position changes. Look at that. Look, the leader, Emerson Hilton's only 17, 18 seconds ahead of 10th and 11th, so they would drop behind Matt. And there he tyres. And now we're getting towards the stage where the crossover onto softs. Now will Emerson Hilton have a go for the lead, and will Granty Boy try and get 3rd place back? Oh, Emerson shuts the door on Hilzerat, and Drakatos shuts the door on Granty Boy. And Nova, it's been dropped. Nova's been dropped. Now they need 2 seconds. And of course 6 seconds opposed to his name, and Slimbo gets past Crazy Power, who also has not yet stopped. So Slim, I can't have a feeling now, although he's past Fighter as well, so now he's 2.2 behind Matt 2. He needs to get up behind the back of Matt 2 and go with him, because Matt 2 has rapidly catching the back of BP there in 9th place. Matt 2 yet to pick up penalties. That's one of the things that he does so well as Jacob. What a nightmare race again. Penalties is downfall. Of course, Jacob was second after a fantastic start, but spun it, his own mistake. This man here, I'll tell you what, Jamie, he's going to be desperate to pass Dan Murphy, because he can win this race. He needs to, because Matt 2 is coming, so he's going to have to pass Dan Murphy quickly. If he can get past Dan Murphy and get away, Matt 2 will no doubt get held up behind the back of BP and possibly Dan Murphy, but he needs to get a move on, because genuinely Jamie 1 has a chance of a victory tonight. And he hasn't won since Budapest last season. And we've got leaders in. Granty Boy goes on, but Emerson, Hilzerat and Drakatos all pit. Now, is it for softs? It is for softs. Hilton goes straight to softs. We're going to have to go softs. We've gone so long on the medium tyres. Now, where they're going to fall back to is another question as well. Oh, yeah, softs for all for him. Oh, and Drakatos had to wait. Matt 2 up to 7th. Where are they going to feed out? Of course, they're going to have some mighty speed. Leonard and Andy have both jumped them, and by quite a way. So there's Emerson Hilton out, and in fact, is that Fighter being passed by Lennon? So Lennon and Andy have jumped Hilton and Drakatos. However, they're now on the soft tyres and expect them to fly. Wait, of course, incredible! And all of a sudden, Emerson Hilton and Drakatos are all out the points. Now that's Andy trying to have a move and Fighter down the inside. Oh, just got his nose out in time. Experience racing there. So Granty Boy now leads from Nova. Nova's dropped 3 seconds behind Granty Boy. Lucas will be the net leader. 4 seconds, and how many penalties has Lucas? I think it's 6 seconds for Lucas. It's 9 seconds for Lucas, which means Dan Murphy would technically be net leader. Well, Jamie would. However, BP's only got 3 seconds, and Matt 2 with no penalties is now right behind the back as Emerson Hilton's already got past Andy. Those soft tyres are in, and they're in and off. Andy trying to fight back on Emerson Hilton, who's trying to have a move on Fighter. This could get interesting. Good experience racing. That could have got interesting, it could have got nasty, but good racing, and Fighter has got a little bit of traffic jam as Nova pits. Granty Boy goes on, but Emerson Hilton is not hanging around. He wants to get through. Where will Nova rejoin? Emerson Hilton may have to move down before turn 1. He does. Before the DRS zone, he's got through. Hills are up, can't follow through. We've got a move on Lennon on Crazy Power. Lennon's having an absolutely outstanding race. He's absolutely having a fantastic race. Crazy Power's not giving that up. Hills are at penalty. As Jamie gets past Dan Murphy. That's huge. That's for the net lead of the race. And Jamie won. He's having a fantastic second half of the season. Forever the bridesmaid, of course. 2 runners up in the championship in a row. Just missing out to Slim. Just missing out to Deneen. He has been so close to championships. He's not been contending at all this season. He's struggled this season, but he's had a great second half of the season. And can Jamie 1 get a well-deserved victory? Oh, and who's that going backwards? It's Fighter with a good collision, and Drakatos is colliding with his teammate. The 2 big drivers have come together. Oh, I don't believe it. The Alfa Romeos have crashed. Emerson Hilton's past Lennon. Unbelievable speed. He has dropped Hills-a-Rap. Absolute chaos. Andy now gets past Drakatos. BP passes Dan Murphy. Dan Murphy pits. That's interesting. Now we were saying they may not have to pit again. Dan Murphy is choosing to pit again. Oh boy. What a race. I need to draw some breath. So, splash and dash. Hang on a minute. What is... Yellow flags in sector 3. Have we got a GFO fighters out? Have we got a safety car on track? I tell you what, that would massively help out Dan Murphy. So Drakatos, of course, in Crazy Power, making his schedule pit stop. Matt 2's past BP. Well, they're still side by side. In fact, BP fighting back. Yes, BP. Regardless of their championship positions, BP is not giving an inch. And don't forget, BP's got a chance of a podium. We could have some real surprises. Matt 2 is fighting BP hard. This is all helping Jamie, of course, who hasn't got a penalty. Granty Boy still hasn't pitted, by the way. So Granty Boy from Lucas, who's got 9 seconds of penalty. Here goes Matt 2. He should have this done. Down the inside. Into turn 13. Job done. And now he may take away the dreams of Jamie 1 as Hills are up now passing Lennon. Nova now passing Andy. They're trying to fly their way through the soft tyres, of course. How long will those softs... sorry, getting tongue-tied here. How long will these soft tyres last? They should do. Now the fuel tanks are lighter, the brakes are warm, the tyres are rubbing in, the track's rubbing in. How hard will Jamie defend this position? Because Jamie's catching Lucas. I think Jamie is a driver who would be delighted with a podium. Nova fastest lap, that will count. He's 10th. All of a sudden, Andy's out the points. I tell you what, I'd be gutted if Andy and Lennon finish outside the points. They're having fantastic races. Again, the field spread. Look at the map. Apart from ignore Granty Boy, he's got to stop. The field spread's nothing. Behind Lucas, who is net leader, you've got then Jamie, Matt, BP, Slim, Hilton, Hills-a-Rap, Lennon, Nova, and Andy. 2nd to 11th are probably separated by about 8-9 seconds. Oh, Jamie penalty! Oh, it's a cruel mistress round here for penalties. And Jamie has picked up one. And only leaves Matt 2 and Emerson Hilton without penalties, and that could be huge for the 2 of them. When's Granty Boy going to pit? Because he will be getting undercut. He will be undercut by probably down to possibly 10th, 11th place for Granty Boy as it stands. Is he going to pit this lap? There is the Haas driver, and he's going on. Lap 20. And he is putting away from Lucas, so he's doing all right. Those mediums are still in a good window. Lucas, he'll be kicking himself. 9 seconds of penalties. The podium places are up for grabs. He's only 4 ahead of Jamie, so Jamie would be the second place as it stands. Matt 2 would be third. Nova to the penalty. Those penalties are going to heavily cost Nova. Heavily cost Nova. Granty Boy goes on. There he tyre situation, and Slim getting past BP down the inside, and Emerson Hill's trying to get through as well. Nova passing Lennon. BP's going for it. I'll tell you what, he's not giving it up. Inside of turn 2, but still have the inside for turn 3. Is Slim fully committed? Let's go on board. Oh, great racing. Great racing between BP and Slim, and Emerson Hilton there on the inside of his teammate. Oh, inside of Slim, sorry, but BP, his teammate, a little bit of a bottleneck here. Now Emerson will have the inside on the Haas driver. Hillstrap just in the background there as well. And on the soft tyres, Emerson Hilton gets through into 6th place. He's not too far behind Mac 2. Hillstrap trying to go with him. There is Hillstrap in the McLaren. Trying desperately to go with him here. 7 laps to go. Granty Boy still hasn't pitted, but still pulling away from Lucas now. And then Mac 2 passing JB1 down the inside. It's Dutch on Dutch. And Mac 2 is in 3rd, and a net lead as it would stand. Is Granty Boy pitting now? Yes! Where's he going to drop back? Drakotos, another penalty. Action galore. Action galore. So there's Mac 2, there's Jamie, who could be under threat from Emerson very shortly. BP's about to be under threat from Hilzerat, from Slim. As down the order goes Granty Boy. Oh, look at him tumble, leading for so long. Nova goes through. Will Lennon get through? Yes. Has Andy hit trouble? He's a long way back now. Has passed Granty Boy. What's his front wing? He's fine. He's fine. He's back in the points. So where are we? I want to see the leader. There we go. Look at that. After 21 laps, the top 11 are separated by just 14 seconds. 21 laps, 6 to go, and 14 seconds separates pretty much the field. That is incredible. One mistake, penalties, could massively cost all of these. Matt 2 will know Lucas has a penalty. I don't think Matt 2 will push Lucas too hard. He will win this race as it stands. As there goes Hilzerat. Hilzerat on BP. He's through on the DRS, so up to 5th. Now can he get on to the back of Emerson Hilton? Jamie 1 still holding on to a podium place as it stands, but now he's going to be under some serious pressure, and he is, because there's Hilton, there's Hilzerat. I've got to say, even so, Jamie 1, BP have both, and Lucas are having an outstanding race. They're mixing it at the front, genuinely as well. Nova's going to possibly lose out the points. Right, here goes Jamie on the outside. Hilton on the outside, in the inside of Jamie 1, and into 3rd he goes. And Slim getting past BP. Now can Nova follow through? Where's Nova come from? He can make up 2 places here. He's past BP. He passes Slim, and Nova, he's come alive. Can Slim get back down the inside of turn 2? Well, he's gone for it. Nova will have the inside for turn 3. However, Slim shuts the door. Nova can't do anything about it. That's great fighting back from the reigning champion. BP trying to get back involved in his hard tyres. Fantastic action. Crazy Powers past Drakotos. Drakotos has been a massive surprise. Of course, he's 10th in the championship. He's won a race this year. Another race winner. So, Lucas leads by 1.7 seconds. Let's just put you back to the interval and tyres. And Emerson Hilton right behind Matt 2. Where's this come from? And Hillsrat passing Jamie. But here goes Emerson Hilton on the championship leader. They just avoid contact. Those soft tyres are absolutely mighty. And Hillsrat's just behind. He's passed Jamie 1. Who's going to win this race? Oh, Hillsrat, big mistake there. Of course, Matt 2 and Emerson don't have penalties. They're fighting for the outright lead. Lucas has got 9 seconds worth. Lap 23. Granty Boy gets past Lennon. That's a move. That means a fresh tyres for Granty Boy. I can't help it feel he left it too late to stop the soft tyres. Nova's car's come alive, and Hammers and Hilton has passed Matt 2 and takes the net lead of the race. And I tell you what, Lucas could drop all the way down to 9th place. He's got 9 seconds worth of penalties. This battle's not done. Matt 2, they're feinting a move down the inside, but those soft tyres are on. And Matt 2 penalty. Oh my word. And that... oh no, Lucas! Oh no! Oh, I don't believe it! Leading the race and on his own. Oh no, 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 no! And he just gets through. Oh my word. Leading the race and on his own. Lucas has dropped it, and with his 9-second penalties, it's going to be 8 races in a row without scoring a point. I don't believe it. In the meantime, Nova's passed Jamie. Lucas penalty, he's going to be absolutely fuming. So Emerson Hilton's the only one without a penalty. He's sitting pretty. Hilton right behind. Tyres are irrelevant now. It's about penalties. Nova has 9 seconds worth. Nova's going to tumble down. Jamie could be in net 4th place here. Hilton leads on Matt 2. And has he broken the DRS? Has he? I don't think so. No, he hasn't. Matt 2 still crucially has the DRS. Emerson trying to break the DRS. So Nova's going to... so Jamie's in net 4th. Dan Murphy passing Lucas, my word. Lennon and Andy got 6 seconds to do it. Dan Murphy could jump into 9th place before this race is done. Let's get some of the comments out there. Made McCruder. Oh my god, Matt 2, the championship leader, has binned it. He's out. Virtual safety car, exactly the same place as Lucas. Oh my word! That is the first mistake I have seen Matt 2 make this season. And the championship leader is out. Well, I cannot believe it. Virtual safety car. That is the first mistake I've seen him make all season. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a reprieve for Emerson. And I'll tell you what, it could put Jamie back on the podium. It could be Jamie's first podium of the season. Oh, it would be fantastic. And it would give us 17 different podium runners this season. 17 different podium runners if Jamie can hold on to third place, because Nova's got a ton of penalties. Oh dear. And Matt 2 saying in the comments the penalty ruined him. Got annoyed and started pushing too much. Don't forget, lap before we saw Lucas spin it exactly there as well. So 2 laps to go, and Emerson Hilton could be on for a win. He hasn't won. This could be our 9th different win of the season. What a season. You just never know what you're going to get in this league. Every race is different. Qualifying is different. The front runners are always different. 5 retirements. I tell you what, that's been a shock in itself. Right, so where's our fight? Granty Boy in the back of BP. Crazy Power gets past Drakatos. He's got 9 seconds of penalties. Drakatos, Crazy Power. Jamie 1 has to stay within 6 seconds of Nova for his first podium, but Slim is 2 seconds actually behind. Granty Boy, 3rd in the championship. Can he take advantage of Matt 2 retiring? Matt 2 is out. However, who's 2nd in the championship, won't score. And Granty Boy now passes BP for 6th. So it's only 8 points. It's still a huge lead for Matt 2. However, it's friendly, and Hillsrap is coming back at Emerson Hilton as well. I wonder if those tyres, well, they're all on soft at the front. Of course, Jamie on 22 lap old medium tyres now. Slim is starting to catch. Well, I tell you what, actually, Slim may have trouble from his teammate. BP's just got to stick with it as well. He's had a great race on those hard tyres. And so he could jump over as well. Well, that should be touch and go now. Jacob must be in the version of qualification. Penultimate lap. Oh, and the gap's down to half a second. I tell you what, Hillsdrop's got nothing to lose. He has to force Emerson into a mistake and try and get Emerson a penalty. Oh my word, they're all struggling around turn 4. We saw Jacob spin it there. We saw Matt 2 bin it there. Turn 4 is becoming a bit of a tricky section. It's as if there's moisture on the track down there. But look at Hillsdrop and Nova. Nova will be kicking himself with those penalties. Kicking himself. Dracotos has passed Crazy Power for 11th, but the amount of penalties Dracotos has, add another 3 seconds to it, that's going to mean absolutely nothing. Jacob's in that battle as well, actually. Let's have a quick look at that. There they are. In fact, they're side by side. Crazy Power back on the inside. They're bumping wheels. This is all for 7th place. Great side by side action. Jacob trying to get involved. Lucas just behind them as well. Great action there. Back with the leaders. Hills are up trying to do everything he can to force Emerson into a mistake and try and get a penalty. Nova's out of it. He's got 9 seconds. Jamie, though, is just on a podium. He's 1.2 inside of the... Oh, no, he's 1 second in. Jamie's got to put his foot down here. If he gets out of 6 seconds, he won't score a podium. It's 5.4. Oh, no, I'm going to think Jamie can miss out. Granty Boy in the back of his teammate. Back to the front. Hills are up. DRS. He's gone for it. He's having a look, but he's not close enough. Can he force Emerson into a mistake? The answer is no. No penalty flashes up. What about Jamie, who's on the front from Slim? And his podium could be vanishing here. Jamie and Slim are 2 old championship contenders. They're old championship rivals. And Slim... Oh, my word, the half sandwich. And Jamie wants to fill in. Which one's going to merge up front? Are they going to make contact? Jamie one holds on, but Slim takes 4th place. Granty Boy backs out of it. Oh, and Jamie trying to push Granty to the inside of the wall. He holds on. Slim makes a mistake. What a final lap. What brilliant action. Slim now 4th, Jamie 5th, Granty 6th, BP still hanging on there in 7th place. Although Lennon's catching him quite quickly. Meanwhile at the front, here we go, DRS, last lap. Can Hillsrap have a move? Of course Emerson hasn't got the penalty. He is going for it, round the outside. Where's Emerson? He takes the lead, but Emerson doesn't have the penalty. And Granty Boy's got past Jamie. Oh, the podium's done. Hillsrap's lost it. Emerson's back through. Nova's taken 2nd. He's got penalties galore. However, he could hold on to a podium, actually. The gap is now 7 seconds, so Nova may get away with 3rd. But Emerson Hilton rounds turn 17. He wins the Russian Grand Prix. 9 different winners. It's Hilserath from Nova, and Slim is 4th. Granty... Oh, there's been a huge crowd. Have they finished? They have, thankfully. Jamie, BP, Lennon scores. What has happened? Now is Andy going to score? This is I don't know what has happened. But Jamie's 6th, BP's 7th. Andy holds on to 9th, and Dan Murphy is 10th and scores a point. What a race. Whew. Get my voice back. That was brilliant. What a win. What a win by Emerson Hilton. That was a race that had you on the edge of your seat all the way through. Granty Boy says, it was Granty Boy picked up wing damage after Lucas spin. Yeah, I thought I saw someone hit the wall on the exit of turn 5 as Lucas was going round. It was Granty Boy. Well, what a cracker. Championship leader Matt 2, we've still got an absolutely huge lead. Granty Boy does salvage some points out of it. If they can, any of the drivers join me in chat for a debrief on that incredible race. What a race. Oh, it's great to be back. Granty Boy fastest lap. So he rescues 10 points, 11 points. It's a small margin. Emerson Hilton, what a win. What a race. And I'll tell you what, the action was fierce but clean. Driver of the day, probably, I don't know. That's a tough one itself. I don't know what you guys think of that, but driver of the day, that's tough. Emerson Hilton, the fact that he picked up no penalties and won that race, the only driver not to, maybe gets that, but some outstanding. But the main thing from that is the safety car played a big part with the drivers pitting on to, well, making this one-stop last to the end. But Nova, outstanding. Yep, McGrew says driver of the day. Yeah, absolutely. But everybody who finished that race put on such a show. The standard was absolutely brilliant. No crashes, brilliant wheels-wheel action. And there was rumour of us dropping Russia next season. I don't think so. After that incredible race, may pencil Russia back in. Let's try and get some drivers in then. And try and recover my voice. Right. Let's have a look. You're going to be watching a blue screen, so let's make this pretty quick. Let's get as many drivers in as possible. Let's talk to a few of those guys after what was an absolute humdinger. Most of them have already zipped offline. Slim. Saying that, a lot of them are Greek and they're about 3 hours ahead of us, so it's pretty late for them. Let's try and get Granty Boy. All our podium runners have gone. That's a shame. Wouldn't mind talking to Jacob. Lennon, he's going to be a happy man. Let's try and get him in. So a few invites have gone out. Nova, of course. Let's get Nova in. After a brilliant race for Nova. What a Grand Prix. I see the comments are alive. Hills are upstairs because he hasn't got a mic, but he says, hey guys, it was a great race for me as I had a podium. My pace was good. I tried my best to take the win. Second place is good, while Matt didn't get any points. Congrats to Emerson and Nova. Who was that who just joined then?
It was me.
Slim.
Bonjour.
Slim, let's try and dissect that race in your point, because that was just incredible. That's one of the best, cleanest races I think I've seen in a long time. In your point of view, mate, talk us through your race.
Yeah, so pit earlier than what I was planning to. I was following Matt 2 into the pits. I didn't want to lose him, basically, so I copied what he did. Tyres felt good at the end, but everyone else who started on the mediums going on to softs, they were just too quick. But yeah, catching Jamie, I knew I needed to beat him because I knew if he finished ahead of me, he would overtake me in the standings. So I was like, I'm going for this. And even when we were going 3 wide, like with me and Granty, I wasn't going to back out. I was going to fight that to the end.
That last lap, wow, that was incredible. I tell you what, outstanding driving between you, Jamie, and Granty Boy, not to make contact. In hindsight, that pit stop with Matt, do you regret it now?
No, because it would have been the same story, even if I pit later. Tyres weren't an issue, I felt great. It was the fact that they were on softs that meant they could come flying behind me. Yeah, I couldn't do anything about that. It's just a fresher compound.
Of course, and it's just off the podium, 4th place. It's still more points in the bag. Still charging up the standings now.
Yeah, that's just what it is to the end of the season. See how high up I can get. I've had a pretty miserable season, so try to wrap it up. Try to finish it with a bow on top. That would be nice.
Absolutely, Slim. And on to Japan, which is one of your favourite tracks as well. You've got to be a little bit confident on that one.
Yes and no. I love the track. Doesn't mean you're fast at it, but there's not in this league. There's no guarantee. And if you try, you're going to look like a fool.
Yeah, well, as we've seen today and all throughout the season, you never know what is going to happen going into these races. Let's talk to Lennon, who was, as I said at the time, absolute scenes when he took the lead of that race. Unfortunately, it was the strategy which sort of did you out in the end, but how are you feeling at the end of that?
A little bit gutted, to be fair. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen it in the chat, when the other boys pitted under the VSC or the safety car, whichever one it was, literally, when I dropped down and I didn't realise at the time, and I paused it off through the race going down the straight and realised the top, 7 already pitted.
Yeah.
There's about 3 or 4 of them, weren't it? It was like, who was it? You had Crazy Power, Lucas, and a couple of others who already pitted, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to bring it back, because there was a good 5-10 seconds up the road, and considering I was, 4th for the first stint before the actual safety car, or virtual safety car come out, and I don't know, a little bit gutted, but then, as I said, I had decent pace, and I could come away with points, so I'm pretty pleased with that, to be fair.
Not only that, but in the end, you only finished, I think, 8 seconds off the lead, which in itself is far better than what you thought you were going to go. You were leading by right, you had the pace, you had a great qualifying. You've got to be confident that you can take on these boys and crack that podium.
Yeah, potentially. It just depends for me, really. It just depends on what track. Like I said, I was one of the people to vote for Russia to stay on the calendar. I think it was for this season or for next season, whichever one it was.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, because I know I'm pretty decent around there, and it kind of showed today. But I think a couple of the boys, like a little bit of luck goes my way, and maybe a half decent track I'm decent at, I could definitely get that podium.
Absolutely, and in terms of the battle itself, you had a great battle with the guys at the front. You must have been in your element there. It looks like you were really enjoying it, and back to the Lennon of old.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the only reason I race at the moment. I just want to enjoy it, even if it's at the front or even at the back. But yeah, today I did. Yeah, I felt like in the groove, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just felt right, and I said like fighting right behind Emerson. Obviously Slim in that was slightly in front, but Andy right behind me all race near enough, and yeah, it was good and enjoyable. I might be back for another couple of races if there's spaces.
Let's hope so. Absolutely, Lennon. Thank you very much. I think that's everybody in the chat. I think everyone's pretty much gone. So that is round 16. Matt 2, despite retiring, doesn't lose too much ground in the championship. Granty Boy, however, takes a big step towards second place in the championship. What a race, guys. Watch it back if you haven't seen it yet. And we will see you next week for round 17. 4 to go from Japan, where the weather could play a huge part in that. Guys, we'll see you next week, same time. Good night.